What's up, coders, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be taking a look at a new product sent to us by a friend of ours at FiFine. This beautiful headset, in fact, it's the one that I'm currently recording with. So you're going to get a little bit of a dual action review here. First off, we are going to get into how good does this headset work for gaming, because that is really its design. Its primary focus is making sure that you have an excellent gaming experience, and I think that you'll be interested to find out a little bit more, so stay tuned there. The other portion of this that we'll be talking about is its recording potential with this microphone, which is removable. You can pull this off right here. We're not going to do that, as well as investigating one last thing, which is this little part, which is the adapter that makes it a USB headset. And the reason why that's super interesting is it has the 7.1 button, which is supposedly to make it a 7.1 directional headset. We'll find out if that really does what it says, or whether or not you want to just stay away from that in just a little bit. But it also has this wonderful thing where you can disconnect it and use it to switch quickly to like an Xbox controller or something like that without having to disconnect it from your PC as well, which is awesome for someone like me who streams as well as plays on my Xbox. It also might be good for a couple other use cases. Maybe those people who are starting off as a new content creator or video creator or whatever, and they want to get a headset that's not going to break the bank, but that can also record some audio. So first things first, let's dive into its overall sound, because I think we've answered a little bit about the microphone just by recording with it. We'll talk a little bit about it right after this, though. So for the sound, this is where I think this value proposition becomes extremely interesting. FiFine sent this over to us without any sort of direction on where we want the review to go. They just wanted us to go in and give our honest impressions. And there's a couple things that are negative about this headset that I do think I want to address and just kind of set the stage. First of all, this headset comes in not on sale for about $37.99, which is not that bad of a price when you're looking at the overall market for less expensive headsets on, let's say, Amazon or anything like that. So right there, you're not really in the premium range, so you shouldn't necessarily expect premium audio. What I do think this does really, really well is nails the high tones and the mid tones and gives really clear directional audio, as long as you don't mess with this thing. Do not press the 7.1 audio button. What this button actually seems to do isn't giving you 7.1 audio, but instead just kind of flattens the whole thing. It flattens the whole audio curve and makes it really feel like you're just in all of the sound. If you don't turn this on, though, this is giving me some of the most directional audio, especially in a binaural setup. So if you're playing a game like PUBG, for example, that game has amazing directional audio, or Rainbow Six Siege also has some very good directional audio. These are amazing for it. Earlier today, I was playing a game of Siege, and I was sitting in a corner. I could hear very clearly, just out of my left ear, a guy creeping around a wall. I knew exactly the distance he was from me. I knew exactly how quickly he was moving. I could hear every single pin drop. My teammates were saying, no, he's on the other side, but I knew my audio was good enough that I was very clearly ready for him, able to get the drop on him. It improved my gameplay experience as a result of that. And I think that's one of the really cool aspects about this headset that might set it apart from some of the competition. So that's something to keep in mind. I think that's really, really good. So the directional audio is fantastic. Now to the negatives. This headset has very mediocre bass, and mediocre at best. I feel like in some cases it can produce a decently bassy sound, but if I was to compare it to, say, like a $50 headset like a SteelSeries Arctis, which was my main drivers before I got these, and probably will be primarily anyway, those have significantly better lows. And we're not talking a huge gap in price, but we're talking $15 to $20. And that's the wired version of this. So because we're not going wireless, $37.99, pretty great price as far as where it was when I first got the headset. So I think that these H9s are really great in the space of that mid-range to low range headsets for gaming. They really do a great job of directional audio. It may not be the most like incredible experience that you're going to get. Like if you're playing single player heavy games that don't rely on directional audio, I wouldn't necessarily recommend these ones as it. You might want to just go for some high-end speakers, but if you want one that can do a little bit of both, that's great. Now let's dive into the microphone aspect of it. And as you can see and as you can hear, the microphone is actually quite impressive. So I actually use a FiFine microphone as my main condenser microphone for all of my creation on my channel, which has been a fantastic performer. It honestly just does so good with the audio. With a little bit of compression and a little bit of noise reduction, this thing can, you know, perform with the best of them. And I really have enjoyed this, had this for years. FiFine makes some great microphones on the market, so I'm not surprised that this little headset really has a great microphone. And that is where we're gonna pull this guy back out. The SteelSeries gets the floor wiped with this one. The microphone is just miles better. Maybe I'll insert a little comparison here just so you can hear the difference between slightly more expensive headset and this one, and really what this one sets itself apart with. Testing 1, 2, 3. This is now with a different headset, one that I've already owned. Wanted to do just some rough comparisons to other headsets on the market, see what they sound like when they record through the microphone. Most of the time, this is an area where they're going to skimp out on. Does this sound really good, or does it kind of sound a little bit rough? Tell me what the comparison is for you. Testing 1, 2, 3. This is recorded with the FiFine headset. I wanted to see what the audio quality sounds like. From my initial testing, it seemed pretty good, but this is an extended test. Gonna put it through its paces, really kind of get loud and then get quiet, and we're gonna whisper on it. But overall, with just a couple little bit of effects, how does this sound? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below, and we'll come back to this. I would say that the biggest positive is this microphone right here. The second biggest positive is the directionality of the audio in this headset. As long as you don't press the 7.1 feature that it says it has, I don't think that's very good. However, there's a couple more features on here that are really nice to have. You can clip this to your side. You have, oh, that probably muted it. See, right there, it muted it. So that little switch will automatically mute the microphone. You can also turn up and down the microphone on the right-hand side right here. This positive and negative. And then over on the left-hand side, we got the positive and negative as well. So as long as you don't click that 7.1, you're going to be totally golden when it comes to sound quality. So those are the two things that I'm going to recommend. And the downside is the bass is really kind of lackluster. I think that the mids and highs are pretty solid and they're very crisp. It's not going to blow you away with audio quality. It's going to be good, serviceable. But like I said, in this low range price point, you kind of expect that. That's something that you're going to want to understand. It does serviceable audio while producing really good directionality and a really nice microphone. So those are my main thoughts on the H9 from FiFine. I think that it is a good buy. I do think this is a good opportunity if you're just getting into the content creation space. It will save you a purchase. You do not have to go out and buy a condenser microphone separate right off the bat. And I think that's recommended. When you're first getting into content creation, you don't want to dive in and spend all this money on gear when really you got to get your rhythm. And so that is the big thing. I think this is a great thing to get if you're just getting into it, or if you just want to save all those poor souls out there from the world of bad microphones. And man, if you've ever played Call of Duty Warzone, you know how many bad microphones are out there and your ears just get destroyed by them. Instead, don't buy that cruddy $25 one that you found on Amazon that's no name brand and you've never heard of before. Buy a FiFine microphone. That is spelled F-I-F-I-N-E, but pronounced FiFine. So shout out to my friends over at FiFine for sending this over for review. We really appreciate you. But this has been a whole and honest review from your buddies over at GameKO. Hopefully you enjoyed this review. Make sure to leave a comment. What do you think of the current headset market? Do you think that there's anything out there that's really surprised you? Or are you still on the hunt for that perfect headset? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell for notifications. And as always, stay classy, coders.